sides, but the maze is growing. Finding the gates, but my keys denied. I'm locked in a place where I fight with time. Now my nights seem a little bit longer, but with hope in my corner stronger. Held my ground when the rains fell harder. Raised the light when the path felt darker. I concentrate to stay awake. I drop my aim, my only chance is to dodge your face. To make the break, to find escapes, to start to hit before I slip into the dark domain. And though when my fear doth rose, no falls in my mind I froze. In this maze I'm lost, but I face every block from the voice that guides me home. Waiting for something to save me. Stop all the hailing and bury the feelings when all of me is breaking. But something is changing, something is healing, something is giving me all to believe in. Took off the weights I've chosen, facing the door that leads to my omens. Breaking the lock as I breach inside. Staring back was a life I denied. Now my days feel a little bit larger. Healed the scars in my corner stronger. Turned my back on the cage I harbored. Took my pain and made it a martyr. I cogitate to subjugate these walls I've made. Every floor of me's a rock, a place to raise the height, to block escapes. In this prison I was cast away, but every boundary's about to break. And when my fear thought broke that fall, my mind unfroze. In this maze time stopped, but I faced every block to the hands and made it home. Waiting for something to save me. Stop all the hailing and bury the feelings when all of me is breaking. But something is changing, something is healing, something is giving me all to believe in. But something is changing, something is healing, something is giving me all to believe in. But something is changing, something is healing, something is giving me, I just wanna run away where the rains don't come into the part of me where the world won't fall. Cut up the pieces, rip all the creases, start brand new. I just wanna run away till I'm falling in love with the part of me where I know I'm enough without the pieces and all the creases in my view. Run away where the rains don't come into the part of me where the world won't fall. Cut up the pieces, rip all the creases, start brand new. I just wanna run away till I'm falling in love with the part of me where I know I'm enough without the pieces and all the creases in my view.
Hello everybody. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I normally left this interpretation for everybody, okay? So I thought I will leave the songs as they are for everyone to interpret, but I kind of wanted to go through my reasoning behind the songs and why I wrote them. And hey Adikex, hey Kathy, hey Detenshi, hey Ghost. And I'm early, look, it's early on in the day, we're on early, okay guys? How's everyone doing? Hey Misfit. So yeah, so we're gonna go through maybe all of them, I don't know, most of them, some of them, we'll see how we get on. We're gonna start with Masks, okay? And I'm guessing you guys have heard Masks, right? You remember the original song? Where is it? I do enjoy Trash, but we're gonna go with Masks. Okay, so Masks was the first ever song that I did, and it kind of, that's cool, Kathy, don't worry. Ghost, don't worry, man, I'm here now, and I'll be on later. But yeah, Masks was the first song that I ever did, and it was kind of a very important moment for me in terms of my career, in terms of doing this as an artist, in terms of basically everything, because it was I don't know, man, it signaled the start of it all, you know? It was nerve-wracking, there was anxiety, it was a lot of pressure, because it was the very first song that you ever heard me make. And it's still one of my favourites. But does anyone here know what Masks is about? I mean, it's a little bit obvious, but does anyone know what Masks is about? And that's awesome, Adix. Thank you for listening to the songs. But if you know what it was about, let me know in the comments in the chat, and I'll tell you if you're right, and I'll also tell you what I wrote it for and what my reasoning behind the song was. And Kathy, yeah, you are a chat mum, to be fair, at this point. Okay. Alright, okay, cool. Yeah, some of you are close, some of you are very close. So I'll tell you why I wrote Masks. It's not because I wear a mask, for a start. Masks was written about how sometimes we as people, we want attention. We want people to kind of give us that love and attention. And so we put on this, effectively masking. We're putting on this mask to appear happy, to appear this better version of ourselves, to like hide the flaws, hide the issues, because we don't want people to know about it. And it's that kind of idea that you are presenting yourself in a completely different way to how you actually are within the walls of your home. I mask a lot. I probably do it on stream. I'm not even kidding, like I probably do it on stream. But you know, that's what it's about. It's about this ideology of masking where you aren't your real self amongst the people you know, because you don't want them to judge you in a certain way or see you in a certain light. So you put yourself forward in a completely different, like you reinvent yourself so that, you know, people aren't put off by you. That's why I wrote Masks. It was my sort of self-realization of my own flaws with it. If you see me shuffling, there's a pillow under me. But yeah, so that's what Masks is about. Now, Ghost, Adix, you guys sort of went through the identity crisis thing, and that's how you interpret it, which is fine. You're not wrong. And I guess real mirrors and dogs. Adix, I get it. It's kind of, it's what everyone does. I think a lot of people are scared to show the real selves around, you know, strangers around. I'm more comfortable showing a stranger online who I am than I am my friends. Which is masking. I am masking amongst people I know, which is crazy. I think it's crazy. But that's Masks, okay? It is you just not being you amongst people who you know. But I like your interpretations of it, because I know whenever I write something, it's my own, I guess my own sort of mind creating it, and it's however you perceive it and however you put it forward to yourself, and if it relates to you in that way, then that's the way it's meant to be. I don't know who the real me is anymore at this point, which is just sad to be honest. I feel you, Ghost. It's kind of, yeah, when you spend so long adapting to everyone around you, you do sort of lose a part of yourself. And I can get that because I have the sort of same thing with music where I was always worried that I was going to start writing something for what I thought the people would want to hear. And I almost felt like I was losing myself in the music, and I wanted to avoid that. Hey Fatima, we're going to be going through the chapters, and I'm going to give a little breakdown on each of them. So, because I'm curious to see what everyone's interpretation is of the songs. I have my own reason. I have my own, what do you want to call it? My own kind of overview of why I wrote that song. Fatima, what was your interpretation of Masks now that you're here? And yeah, Adikex, 100%. It's kind of, the idea is that just because you're putting out these versions of yourself, they're still just versions of you. It's really weird because we're playing the Altars at the moment on the gaming streams, and the Altars is about different versions of yourself, which is really weird. There's a lot in that game that seems to relate to what I talk about, which is, I don't know if it's fate that I'm playing it, but it's just weird. You know I'm weird because it's the way I am on top of it. Kathy, I get that. I feel like if you meet me in person, okay, if that happens and you meet me, but then you meet me a second time, I sometimes feel the second time you meet me, you'll see the real me, not the first time. Because the first time the barriers are up and I'm wearing a mask, pretty much to hide the real me, because I don't want you to prejudge. But the second time you meet me, I'll be like a whole different person. And Ghost, I don't think there is the idea of real me's. I feel like people forget that every version of you is the real you. It's just different parts of your personality. Like everyone has, you know, a more hyped up version of themselves, they have a more mellow version of themselves. I have different versions of me. I have versions of me that want to, I don't know, engage and be more outgoing. Then there's another version of me that's really reclusive and hides away in this room making music. I go through phases, but I don't overanalyze it. I know that's just who I am, that's my brain doing what it needs to do, and I'm okay with that. I get that, yeah. I do the same thing, Adikex. If I meet someone and they seem quite open, like my heart goes straight to my sleeve and I'm just talking about, like we could just met and I'm just talking about everything to them. I find I like conversations with strangers. I like complete strangers where if I know I'm not going to see them again, it's almost freeing. You feel like you can just let it all out and there's no judgment because, 8 billion people in the world? Likelihood of seeing this one again is pretty slim. But yeah, that was Masks. Masks was the first ever one I did. Ghost, you're probably a culmination of all of them. I know what you mean by saying it doesn't make sense, but you're probably just all of them combined, and it's just certain people can see different aspects of that. It's a bit like, I don't know, think of it like a conversation. There are certain things you might talk to some people about, but not other people about, because you don't think they're going to relate to it. If I have a social circle, I have friends, and some of them I don't talk to them about this because I don't think they'd get it. Some of them I do because I think they would get it, or they're into music, they like this kind of stuff. So, but I'm still the same person, regardless of the conversation. It's still me underneath all of that. So I'd say, Ghost, you're all these people, the reckless one, the funny one, you're all of them combined. It's just, you're just put, like, you can't, it's okay to not be all of them at once with every single person. And I get that some people are like that. I've met some people who just don't change regardless of who they're with. But that's how it is, and you have to accept it. You have to say, you know what, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think people overanalyze it, think it's a really bad thing to change your personality amongst others, but it's not. It's not. Thanks, Fatima. Hello, Realm. Realm, what time is it over there? I'm still trying to figure out if this is the right time to be on. What we're doing, Realm and Fatima, in case you missed it today, we're going to go through the chapters. Maybe all of them, maybe half of them, I'm not sure yet, but we're going to go through the chapters, and I'm going to give you my reasonings for why I wrote them, but I'd kind of want to hear everyone else's reason. Like, why did you guys write these? How did you interpret the song as well? It's very pink in here. All my lights are on pink. But I'm cool with that. Okay, 7 a.m. Oh wow. Alright, cool. So you're okay. Yeah, 100% OKX. So that's Masks, okay. Masks, yeah, it marked the start of everything for me. It was just the start of it, and like it will always hold a little special place in my heart because it is the first song I did, and it's kind of, yeah. Now the next song was Darkness. How do you guys interpret Darkness? Black's my favourite colour, Cafe. Well, black and, yeah, pretty much black. I like black. I want a house that's all black. I feel like most of the people who follow what I do, their favourite colour is black, which I'm so cool with. It's fine. I can imagine now we'll do a show and everyone's just dressed in black and it'll be so good. But yeah. So, this song Darkness, what was I'm guessing you've heard it. If you haven't heard it, it's cool. Don't have to answer, but what was your thoughts on Darkness? What did that song mean to you? If no one knows, or if you're not sure, I'll answer it. Alright. Yeah, it's not a bad analysis, Kathy. Learn to live with the darkness instead of hiding it from something. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. Darkness is about depression, spinning thoughts you just can't shake off. I really like this part of the song. Okay. So, I'll tell you why I wrote Darkness. Darkness is, it's, I feel like Darkness is maybe a bit more of an obvious one, yeah. It's about the sort of darkness in your mind and your inner demons, and how you feel like you're constantly shrouded in darkness. And it's why that line that just happened there, where it's all I see is darkness, it's because all the thoughts that are racing through your mind, all the self-doubts, everything at night time when you're lying down in bed, when you're about to go to sleep, and all these things go through your head, it's that darkness that you are reflecting on. There's no light. So you guys actually got that pretty close. Hey Samyaza. Samyaza, we're going to go through the chapters, and I'm going to get everyone's sort of interpretation as to what they think it's about, and I'll tell you why I wrote the song and what that song meant to me. So if you've got any thoughts, by all means put them in the chat. But no answer's wrong, okay? Like, if your answer isn't the same as mine, that's fine. It's no answer's wrong. And yeah, so the lyrics, I need a lullaby to make me feel free. It's the idea that the only time I get peace is when I'm asleep, because in the day, like when I'm existing life and I'm awake, it's all I see is darkness. There is, like, it is kind of touching on the subject of depression, because it's that idea of, even when there is so much colour in the world, even there's so much happiness around you, everyone's laughing, whatever, like, you cannot feel it. You can't feel those emotions, because all you are seeing is darkness. Your thoughts are just full with self-doubt, you're questioning everything, and I remember when I wrote this, I was heavily in that state of mind, like heavily. It's weird, the more I release songs, the more songs I get out to you, the less I start to feel these feelings, because this is my own release. It's me sort of overcoming these things in my life. And when I wrote Darkness, it was a very, no pun, but it was a very dark time. And the idea of that song is, I couldn't feel anything else. Like, you know that feeling when, I don't know, you go out with friends and you're doing something that you normally enjoy, but you're just sort of stood there quiet in the background because you can't get any enjoyment from it, or you're listening to your favourite song and there's no enjoyment listening to the song, or you know, you're watching your favourite show, just anything that you like to do, and you can't get any enjoyment from it because your thoughts and your mind are so clouded with all these self-doubts and all this darkness. That was what Darkness was about. And yeah, I get that, Misfit. And Realm. Thanks, Kathy. But that's what Darkness is, man. It's that. I mean, this is the message bound mix, and yeah. It is. I can't really explain it anymore. That's what it is. Darkness is you are pretty much, to put it really concisely, really short, darkness is you being trapped in your thoughts to the point that no other light, no other positive thought can get in and get rid of this feeling, this sort of depression, this self-doubt. I do like the message in this one though. Then really hooked me up and made me think about my shit or because I've been really trapped by my thoughts too much in the end, was kind of like that. What I do like to do is I like to take these, what I try and do is, and this is why the message bound mix is always so important to me, because the song, you know, the songs in the Prime playlist, the original song, the shorter one, is 9 times out of 10, like most of the songs I write, it's like, it's about the emotion or the feeling, and the message part, the message bound mix, that minute, the start and the end, is the overcoming of the feeling. And it's kind of, you know, it's all combined. Yeah, no, honestly, I can't, every time I listen to my songs, I get so hyped up because I love these songs. We were on about it yesterday, how, like, you know, if an artist isn't their own biggest fan, it baffles me. But I really like what I write. I really do. We were also talking the other day about, you know, doing a message bound mix. Well, not even a message bound mix. I was thinking of starting to create a chapter mix, which is, I don't know yet, because it's going to take it takes a lot longer. If I release a song, there's already 3 or 4 versions, which takes a while as it is, but I did have the idea of doing like a chapter mix. Someone was talking about it in chat, and it's just a much, much longer version with a much bigger message. Who knows? Maybe as this grows and I get time, then I can use that time to do it. So this is Darkness. You guys have pretty much kind of get it. And I try not to, like, when I write these songs, I try not to sort of pick a certain, you know, mental health thing. Like, I try not to say, oh, it's about depression or anything like that, because, you know, it's not just that can cause you to feel this. There's so many things that can cause you to feel this, and I feel like I want it to be as inclusive as possible. So I try not to pick something specific. That's pretty much what it is, Fatima. It is, when I write these message bound mixes in my head, the way I do it is, they are almost me telling myself how to overcome it. It's like a split personality. But one half of me is telling me what I need to do, what I have to think about, and how I have to go through this to overcome the emotion that's in the song. Who knows, Ghost? Maybe it will be Story Mix. But it won't be any time soon that I do that. Now then, we'll wait for this to finish, and then we'll go to the next song. Okay, no, it's not. I get scared of people who only have one of those things. Those people scare me. Okay, so we've done chapter 1 and we've done chapter 2. Now, the next song I did is sort of where it all changed, okay? The next song is kind of the turning point for all of this, where people, people took notice, I guess. Because before this part here, it was sort of, you know, it was reaching people, they were relating to it, but then this song happened, and that's when this all started to change. And it was Snap, which was chapter 3. I think I've already said what chapter 3 was about, but what, you guys know what to do. What did you think chapter 3 was about? Misfit, no worries, man. That's okay, dude. you can catch the stream later, and it's going to be on a VOD anyway, so you can watch it back if you missed it. Mochi, I'm glad they're helping you feel better, man. It makes me feel better, so that's kind of the point. That's what I'm hoping.
They're looking for reactions and they want to start a war. Will you go release your rage or be stronger than before?
You're hiding all your thoughts. You're choosing not to talk. The silent phase is just a way to hide your
Yeah, this is a very odd song when I wrote it. Like I never knew how this was gonna go. To say somebody's pushing while the bones are crushing. I think the message in this one is very obvious. It was Realm. It was the case with most people. Like most people heard this song and discovered me from it. Yes, Addy Cakes, you get it. Do you know when I wrote this song, I was always so worried. I was like, I don't think people are gonna get this. They're gonna expect it to get heavy, expect it to get really, you know, aggressive. And I was like, that's not what the song was about. Because it builds up. I'm gonna let you say a little bit more before I tell you, but you know the full reason for it. It does make you bop though, doesn't it? It's crazy. You can't see my face, but I'm smiling listening to this. It's so good.
One, two.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, so you're right. Hey, Detenshi. Thanks for jumping on the stream now. And Adikex, yeah. So the point of Snap, it wasn't about getting angry. But like, this is the thing. A lot of people always talk in their songs, like all these aggressive songs, like they get angry, and it's about releasing that anger. Like they get aggressive within the song, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. This song isn't about getting angry. It's about finding your inner peace, finding your calm. I was in a very angry state of mind when I wrote this song. Like there was a lot going on in life that sort of the culmination of it all just left you feeling aggressive. Like I was snappy with people, and I was like, this ain't me. This isn't me. And then I wrote Snap, and I wanted it to be a way to release that anger. And this was it. This was the case of like, I was like, I want to write this. I want to build up all that anger. It's going to build up. It's going to build up, and then the release of that anger isn't me getting angry. It's me choosing my own inner peace rather than to hate everything.
That's the way that we are flawed. One will just be angry, and the other will be calm. One will find peace, the other will seek harm. One will not release all the pain inside their heart, but that's not you. Or at least one day you'll see that no matter what the world throws, you deserve to just go through.
It's not, honestly, like, I like listening to my songs. It sounds awful, but I like it.
When you're good,
This
step back.
was Snap, and this was the turning point. This was where people took notice. People started to follow. People were listening to what I was saying,
They bring you down.
which I never expected. I mean, I'm looking at, on Spotify now, Snap has got just under 1.6 million streams, which is, like, to me, that's insane. That's crazy as an artist. But yeah, Snap was the turning point. Snap was sort of when I thought people actually, like, before I started this, right, before I put out that first video, before I released the first song, I was just like, oh, people are going to think I'm weird. They're not going to get it. Everyone on social media is always so perfect. Their lives are perfect. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make out everything's perfect and put out these perfect sounding songs and whatnot. Like, that I hate the idea. I hate the way that people on social media and whatnot portray their lives as perfect, because it just causes envy in people. It causes guilt about their own lives, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put it forward like that. But then I thought, the rest of the world seems to want that. So I was always nervous about releasing these songs. But Snap was when I realised that there were a lot of people who thought how I thought, which was awesome. And now we're here. We're here. So that was Snap. Now, the next song was Annie, Are You Okay?
Behind your eyes, you were burdened in your mind. You tried to wipe it off. But
What
when
was
the
this
day
about
high,
to you?
all these thoughts became exclusive to your time. You never talked. I could have saved your life, like you saved mine. And that's the part that hurts the most. A couple words I could have said and you wouldn't be a ghost. A couple hours I could have spent and you wouldn't feel alone.
This was a lot more
A couple
specific,
days I
this
could have
song.
lent to fix your broken soul. But now there's no one home. You chose to let it go.
Now only one of us will ever grow old, but I will carry you deep inside my bones. So
If there's someone out there needing someone out there, trying to find a way to avoid the blues, kneeling to the doubts and staring at the clouds.
Yeah, when I wrote this song, I had a tough time writing it.
The sick of feeling down now, looking for an out as every bit of joy is doomed. The need to hear you
Like, I don't know if it's obvious. I don't think the songs I sound like musically sad, because I don't want them to always be like that. I like them to have a bit of energy behind them. But lyrically, this one was quite personal. I did adapt it a little bit, so because I wanted others to be able to relate to it too. So it's slightly adapted from my own personal story, but I just want to know what you guys thought it was about.
Okay, so wait, you said goodbye? Damn, my world was turned up. I didn't know where to look. You were a. When I heard the news, sorry, I
Yeah.
felt the bruise. I'm sorry.
You
You said goodbye? Damn, my world was turned up. I didn't know where to look. You were a. Still under the weather. Have you made it out of bed? Annie, are you
yeah. Let me know if you can hear me again. I need to stop doing what I just did.
But no, I didn't. And that's the part that hurts the most.
So I'm just gonna see if I'm still here. Am I here?
To really let you know you're not alone.
Okay, cool. I think I'm back. Am I back? Yeah, okay, right, look. I forgot to put the Mac on charge. And I was stood here and I was like, why is everything just frozen? And turns out my battery was about to die. Yeah. That's all it was. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. I'm back. It's cool. I just didn't put it on charge. But we're good. It's not going anywhere. Okay. Look, man, I'm human. I make mistakes. I thought it was plugged in. I could have swore this was plugged in, but yeah. Right. So, yeah, you guys were right about what you thought Annie, Are You Okay was about. Like, it isn't just a song that is about if you've lost someone, because, well, I mean, actually it is, because that's why I wrote it. It is because I lost someone. It was a friend of mine that passed away a few years back, and it was written for them. But the idea of this song is, it's about it's about someone who doesn't reach out, and they kind of keep their thoughts to themselves and end up in this absolute pit of depression, to the point that, you know, it doesn't have to be about this, but it's about them taking their own life effectively, because they just felt like they couldn't reach out to anybody or ask for help. And so, I mean, it's kind of why I do what I do. Because I don't want people to be in that situation again. Like, they always talk about, they say it's just men, but I know women do it too, and everyone else like does it. But it's this idea that people don't reach out at all. They don't ask for help when they need it. They'd rather have their pride. And it's like, dude, forget your pride, because we're all born one day by chance. We're all gonna die one day by chance. Your pride means nothing. Like, it means nothing after that point. If you need help, ask for it. Which is, yeah, it's why I do what I do. And then this last bit is a sort of call out to you, in case you're that person. Whilst the song was written about, you know, someone else needing the help, I didn't want to exclude you as the person who needed that help. Yeah, I get that, but it's why we're building this, Ghost. It's why we're building what we're building. Same for you, Adikex, as well. It's like, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's why we have the Discord. It's why I'm making the content and the songs, because I've realised that some people just don't want to reach out for help. It's scary. Hell, some people can't afford a therapist, which always drives me insane that it's something you pay for a lot of the time. But this is why we do what we do. This is why we have this. We're not everywhere yet, but, you know, I'm trying. Okay, so the next song. In fact, hey, what, I wanna test you. Don't cheat. Okay, don't cheat. Don't go on Spotify and look. But does anyone know what the next song I released was? After Any Are You Okay? But no cheating, okay? No going and looking for it. I'm just curious to see if anyone knew. And it's cool if you didn't. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know. I'm having to look through. I feel like I wrote that many songs. I'm having to look through which ones I released in what order. So if you do get it, you know my songs more than me. Yeah, Kathy, it was Changes. So Changes. Okay, listen. Changes. I really like when I write these songs. Okay, when I write these songs, I connect with the music part of it as well. Like, it's not just the lyrics. Hey, Barracuda. It's not just the lyric part of it. Like, you know when you listen to songs that have 0 words in them and you really like, the music has a sort of energy you connect to. I really liked it in Changes. Like, the start of it, I loved it. But this was Changes. It was so simple. Like, this whole simplistic idea of they're just simple changes to make. So what was Barracuda? If you're here, I'll tell you what we're doing. So we're going to go through the chapters. We're on Changes at the moment, and we're going to talk about what each song was, why I wrote the song and what it was about, and what your interpretation is of the song. I noticed that I keep poking this spike on the mic right here. So if you hear a little pop sound, I'm very sorry. I like that with the mic. So this is my mic, and I like that it's white and black as well. I almost bought a colourful one, but you know. Okay, Changes was a lot more positive. Like, there's a lot more positivity in this song. It was about. I'm not going to tell you what it was about. I want to know what you thought. Come on, hit me up. What was your interpretation of Changes? Hello, Caden. Caden, I think you'd like this. You know, we're going through all the chapters. Caden is someone I game with, and he says that he likes my music. Maybe we'll test you, Caden, on it. But we're going through the chapters. I'm kind of talking about why I wrote each song and what the reasoning and meaning behind them were. And if you're going to ask me to go on Splitgate, Caden, later, okay? Thanks, man. I know. But yeah, guys, so I want you to put in the chat what you thought Changes was about. And I'm going to go get a bottle of water. I'll still be here, okay? But I'll be back in like 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds. Barracuda, is there something up with the YouTube? Is there a reason you can't chat on it? Let me have a look. Okay, Kathy said what she thinks it's about. Yeah, I got distracted then, Kathy. Right, look. You guys put in the chat what you think it's about. I'm going to read it when I get back, and I'll tell you if you're close. I'm just going to get water. Don't move, don't go anywhere.
Changes better for my head. I need to feel again. I might have lost some faith, but I will not be faithless. One day you will see. I'm never losing.
So be the rope that pulls you out when the waves grow and surround. Make the change that starts the drought. Take your vision of reality, let it break through the seams, so the person that you love is not just in your dreams.
Alright, we're back.
And just because they're not here yet, you can still go pave the way and enjoy every step. No matter what the crossroads, every choice is what you choose.
So, let's see what you said.
Starts and ends with you.
Changing your life by removing the bad elements to make space for the good ones. Remember, no one's like interpretation of this is wrong. It's your own. You process it in your own way. Yeah, you've nailed it. Changes is literally about finding these flaws, finding these issues in yourself, and changing those aspects of your life to get the life you want. Thanks, Caden. But yeah, you guys nailed it. Changes is about accepting your flaws, making the changes in your lifestyle, whatever it is around you, the people that you know, the people you talk to. It's changing those things to become the person you want to be. And it's more importantly, it's understanding those things, because a lot of the time when people want to change but they don't know why or what it is about them they want to change, and they haven't, sometimes it's ego, sometimes it's pride, but they don't accept their own flaws. So the whole song is about realizing and accepting those flaws, and yes, they exist and they're a part of you, but you need to change them to become the person you want. And it has a cool little saxophone as well. I love saxophones in songs. It is. You're right, Barracuda. It is. People are afraid of it. I changed. It was probably the best thing I did. It was, Caden. Well done. And yeah, like the start of the song, you can hear it now. The start of the song was sort of talking about, the start of the song was before the changes, okay? Like I don't know if you missed it, Caden, but the idea is that the song is, I'll explain it for Caden because you've just joined, but the song part, before the messages and before the message at the end of the start, the song is the sort of emotion, the feeling itself, whereas the message is the overcoming of the emotion. That's how I write it. It's not even intentionally written like that, it's just listening to it now, like that's how I've been writing it without realising. And it also talks about how you're not meant to rely on other people to cause these changes. Like, it first and foremost starts with you. Some people wait too long. Some people go all the way through their lives without making those changes, because they think someone else is going to give it to them. Someone else is going to do it for them. Someone else is going to come in and guide them. And it's like, end of the day, like you're the person that needs to make it happen. Gloomy Crow. So the chapters and pages, if you found me from TikTok, or if you go on TikTok, I've actually put them all as chapters. Every song is a chapter of my life. This is kind of like a biography of my life, but through music. Now, the chapters are sort of feelings and thoughts from my life, and each one represents a different thing. And the pages are it's the videos that I put out on social media, and it's the kind of explanation of the song. And each chapter has its own pages, telling the story as to why I wrote the song, what it's about. That's the chapters and pages. Before I released the first song, Masks, there weren't any chapters, and I sort of touched on different subjects and released, content about that. Now, when I have a song and I want to tell people what it's about, that's what the chapter and pages are for. The chapter is the song, the pages is the explanation of the song. Yeah, you guys get it. Hey, Star-Lord. That's awesome, man. Everyone finds me at different points, Barracuda. Like, I still think we're early, I still think this whole thing is quite early on, and it's cool that a lot of you get what I'm doing from now. I always have this worry, that as this progresses, as this gets bigger, the idea of what it is I'm doing gets distorted and warped. It's like Chinese whispers. The more you pass it around, the more the message changes. But so far, we're good. People kind of get what it is I do. Okay, so that's Changes. Now, the next song was Disconnect, which Disconnect kind of talks on something that I spoke about with one of the earlier songs. You might find it's like with the songs that I'm writing, the songs that I released later on almost reflect on the songs I released earlier on. But what was Disconnect about? Yeah, I feel when I write these, Fatima, they sort of, it's not an intentional connection to one another, but on my own healing journey, it kind of, my brain makes that connection. The message part, I think, gives a big clue as to what this is about. But it's not reality checks, Barracuda. The answer's not wrong. If that's how you relate to it, that's your interpretation. But I wrote it about something a little bit different. And I really like the production on this song. Like, I really like this bit. Where is it? Like, I know Caden here makes music, and honestly, you can spend hours and hours making something for a song. And it's, what, 10-15 seconds of it? But I really liked it. That is right, Fatima, yeah. It was Globalized Cages. So, Ghost has pretty much nailed it in terms of why I wrote it. Disconnect was about, you have all these different social norms, okay? You have all these expectations of yourself in society. People want you to be a certain way, to look a certain way, to dress a certain way, to talk a certain way. And it's disconnecting from that. It's realizing that you can just be your own person. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. If you want to be an artist that wears a mask and never reveals his identity, do it. Like, you don't have to care anymore about what other people think of you in society. Dress how you want, talk how you want, do whatever it is you want to do, and stop caring what other people think. And it kind of ties back to what I said earlier about how on social media people love to put this fake, false, perfect version of themselves. Yeah, pretty much, Barracuda, yeah. It's nice. It's cool to see what everyone else thought it was about, though. But it goes back to what we said. It goes back to what we said earlier about how, like, you know, there was always that fear that when I started this, you know, people think it's weird, it's a bit odd and whatnot, and I had that kind of anxiety about posting the first video. And a lot of you said it as well, like, you know, you don't feel like you fit in anywhere, and it's like, well, maybe anywhere doesn't fit in with you, and you're not the problem. I think it's crazy that we judge people based on, you know, I don't know what job they do, how they dress, or anything like that. It's like it goes against the ethos I'm trying to build, where I don't want image to be a part of it. But Disconnect was about escaping all of that, to kind of shut yourself off from external factors and the way others might analyse you. Thanks for subscribing, Cody. I appreciate it, man. And this part where I finally hear my thoughts, it's when you finally shut off the outside world and stop listening to the external influences, you finally realise, you know, who you are. And yeah, the individualism that we all have yet we hide behind because we feel being like someone else is better. It's about being the black sheep. It's about standing out from the crowd. And you're not doing anything to stand out. It's not a, hey, look at me kind of situation. It's a, I'm not like you. I'm like not hiding, I'm not hiding behind this facade to just try and fit in anymore.
And if hope is not enough, always know that you are so much more than the hand that fits their gloves, even when the world writes the way to live your life. They'll never win the fight.
Hey, Soundwave.
Fight through the lines.
Thanks, man. It's cool. Don't worry if you just like, man. Hey, Celeste. I'm good. I hope you're good too. And there's that the last bit there of the message that we are the ones who disconnected from their truths, because the world always tries to put forward their ideas and say, well, this is the right way to do it. This is how you're supposed to do it. If you want to fit in, you need to do this. And the moment you disconnect from that, it's very freeing. Like you stop caring what the others think, and it's just great. It's a nice feeling because you're no longer worried anymore. Okay guys, we are on Blinded. Blinded was another weird one. When I wrote this, it was another weird song. But what were your thoughts on it? You know the drill. I mean, I'm hoping you know it by now, but yeah, what was your thoughts on Blinded? What did it mean to you? And I am going to have a drink of this water. Thirst quenched.
You're back here again, asking what it means to be the one who never gives, but always the one who receives all the pain, punishment, lies, dread, heartache, every beat. But is it time for change from the finish?
Hey Celeste. Celeste, I'll tell you what we're doing, so you know. Because I think, yeah, this is the first time I've seen you on the stream. We're going through the chapters, and I'm kind of getting an idea of what everyone else's thoughts on the song were, what it meant to them, and explaining why I wrote the song. But whatever your interpretation of it, it's fine. It's not a wrong answer. Like, there isn't a wrong answer here. I just wanted to say why I wrote it. I totally shouldn't I, Barracuda? Or just a straw or something attached. Being blinded to the bad things to be accepted by other people, if that makes sense. Use one bottle, can't make a hole in it. I think, yeah, Fatima, I think it's like, when I write these songs, the different characters, the characters portray an emotion, and sometimes it's obvious when one, like, I think it's obvious when I'm feeling a certain way when I write a song, and I kind of had it with Blinded. Okay, like some of your like interpretations in this are so different to what I say different. They're so uniquely different to how I wrote it, which is so cool to see. I did talk about any Are You Okay? It was from personal experience, but the video will stay up on the channel. I think it's about 2 weeks it stays up, so if you've missed any of it, you can watch it again or scroll back a little bit and go through it. So, yeah, some of you got blinded right. Some of you guys have a very unique way of perceiving it, which is really cool. Blinded was about, okay, you know when you have a problem, okay, when you have an issue, and you kind of ignore the problem, okay, and I'm talking about like, you know, like a mental issue or something in your life. Blinded is effectively ignoring these problems to the point that they start. That's why there's that lyric part where it says I'm about to blow. It's the idea that you have ignored these things for so long and just thought it'd go away, that it's built up, and over time more and more things build up. And the more you blind yourself to them and don't give them any attention to try and sort the problem, the more it's going to start to overpower you. Like the very last line is, you're the one who's choosing to stay or leave this curse, because you're choosing whether or not you're going to look at your issues, look at these inner thoughts, and decide on how to kind of get through them, or do you just keep ignoring them and let it build up and get worse and worse and worse? The siren part makes you fangirl. And thanks, Celeste. I sing along to my music every day as well. Yeah, Ghost. Yeah, you guys are nailing it. It's that you have the issue, like, but you just, you know when someone, I don't know, if you've ever been around someone and they say to you, what's wrong, and you say nothing, okay, that's an example of being blinded. Like there's a lot of things that's an example of, but it's the idea that we as people are so good at pretending nothing's wrong and ignoring everything, even when our body is screaming at us, even when everything inside is screaming at us that we need to fix it, we'd rather just ignore it and think it's going to go away and deal with it at a later date. And Blinded was kind of overcoming that. Okay, we are on. Do you know, I'm looking through when I released this song. I still find it crazy that my first song was released in 2023. So much time has passed. That's crazy. How's it gone so fast? Thanks for subscribing, Ethan. Okay, so the next song. What was this about? It's cool that you guys have heard a lot of these songs, by the way, because obviously some of these songs have sort of gone not under the radar, but under the radar almost. This is Faith in Me, right? So you know the backing track that I play in these streams? That first bit was what Faith in Me was. we're going to turn it up a little bit. But like, yo, thank you so much, Soundwave, man. I really appreciate that. Thanks, man. No worries, dude. Like, we're gonna do this so many, okay? So what was everyone's thought, and what did Faith in Me mean to you? Now, I'm gonna give you guys a clue. Faith in Me is no. I'm not gonna give you a clue. I'm not gonna give you a clue. Let's see what you say. Celeste, I'm glad it's helping. Honestly, I'm really glad that you de-stress into this stuff. So what are your interpretations of Faith in Me? Finding and keeping the light, not giving up. It's about finding and keeping the light of not giving up on ourselves. I like that part of it. The valley of disappointment. About not giving up and building yourself up again. So, yeah, you get it. Faith in Me was about, well, having faith in yourself. It is, you know, all these things we talk about, all these things I talk about in the post, the content and everything, it's like, they all kind of link. Like, changes is about picking out the changes and, you know, actually doing something about it. Faith in Me is having that self-belief that you can do something about it. Like, it's not to doubt yourself, that even when it gets tough, the biggest person who needs to believe in yourself is you. And as long as you have your own back, you can pretty much overcome anything. And that was what Faith with Me is about. It was about, if like, not everyone here has someone they can turn to. Not everyone here has a social circle. Some people live alone, some people are out in the world, like living in very remote areas. Some people just don't have anyone. There isn't someone to turn to. And so it's why it's important to always, first and foremost, have that faith in yourself, have that self-belief, because you aren't always going to have somebody.
Day after day, after month, after year, there's a reason that you're where you are, a reason you're still here. You saw the dark and chose to walk straight into the night, because you know bearing fear will hold you down all throughout your life.
And yeah, Soundwave, it's so like your interpretation is like slightly different to how I wrote it, because it relates to you in a different way. But it's still right. And yeah, stoicism in the face of disappointment. But it's disappointment with yourself. Ghost, I'll tell Kabuki. Kabuki's like a long-time personal friend of mine. So I'll tell him you said that.
Until there's no more doubts from everything before, and then one day you'll pause, look around, and know what this was for.
I did like Faith in Me. Drink my coffee, drawing and listen to you, and it's beautiful for the mind. But I'm glad it's helping, Rob. I had my coffee before I came on here. Okay. So the next song. Now, this, when we get to the next song, this kind of, I'll kind of go through it all together, but after Faith in Me was released, I then dropped this song, which was Breathe. Oh, I'm no coffee connoisseur, Barracuda. Like, I will just have any coffee, man. Anything. I feel like, yeah, some of these songs just never got seen as much as the others. I imagine you guys have seen them. But this was one of my most favourite songs that I wrote. I say this, they're all like my favourite song. Depends on my mood. But what was your interpretation on Breathe? Caramel iced coffee sounds nice, I'm not gonna lie.
Clothes are laying on the floor with holes in every shirt. Jeans hung up on bedroom doors with lights that never work. This room is made from mama's bones. She made me feel some worth. I knew I'd need to say goodbye to it, but I didn't think it would hurt. Dreams have
Thanks,
been there all
Celeste.
my life to guide me as a kid. When everything was full of shine and everything felt big.
This song was a little bit different from the others when I wrote this.
That once had died is asking me to live. And if I'm not meant to
No worries, Barracuda.
well, that's fine.
I don't know, man. We've got a few more songs to get through still. I might still be here. How long have we been on for?
But that's life. And I'm not throwing mine a hate. I gave it years to find some peace, but there's nothing left for me here.
It says 34 minutes, but I'm pretty sure we've been on longer than that, haven't we? I feel like we've been on here longer than that. I found it difficult to get a list of my songs to play in order on YouTube. Cognisa, I don't. So YouTube, I've not set up the playlist yet. But if you have Spotify, I've got a playlist on Spotify of basically all the message bound mixes, all the extended mixes, and then all the normal mixes as well. Kathy, I don't doubt that. I feel like you have heard and seen every song. Alright, so Ghost is saying, Breathe is about taking a step back and taking a breath to relax and try again. What about the rest of you? What do you think it is?
I find pictures of a younger me and lockets shaped like hearts. Cards from those now enemies, everyone had left their mark. But these scars that simply reappear every time I fell apart. Their sharpened heads would rear like I was still
I'm gonna get so many copyright notices when I post this video.
Maybe I'm meant to find my happiness if I try with my time instead of counting all the days.
Okay, you get it. Do you know, when I wrote this song, okay, when I wrote Breathe, I don't know why, but like, if you've seen the film The Greatest Showman, and it's kind of musical sort of styled almost. You like the musical sounds, if you watch musicals. But when I wrote this song, I was in a very musical writing mindset, because I don't normally do songs like this, and it felt good. And yeah. Yeah, you guys get it. The feeling of this song, the reason of this song and why I wrote it was that, you know, like as an artist, you get burnout. You as a normal person, you get burnout. Everybody gets burnout, and it's like sometimes, and it's not just burnout from doing too much stuff, it's like burnout from emotions, it's burnout from life, it's burnout from bad relationships, bad friendships. It's when everything gets a little bit too overwhelming, too overpowering, that sometimes the best option is to just, right, rather than trying to take it on, rather than trying to change it or trying to sort the issue, sometimes it's better to just step back and like, give yourself the moment. Whether it's you got angry at someone, or you've lost someone, or you didn't get what you thought you were going to get from something in life. Like, the idea is that you don't have to tackle it straight away. Like, it's fine to step back and just give yourself a breath and collect your thoughts. And no worries, Soundwave. Thank you so much for the donation. And Kathy, have a good time at work. And no worries, Ghost, I'll still be here. Yeah, I know, Ron, I know. Alright guys, we're gonna go through one more song. Now, yeah, so the next release, how many songs we got? Yeah, okay, no, there's a few more. I forgot what I released after this. Okay, I want you guys to tell me which song you want me to kind of go through. It's going to be the last one we do, and I'm going to jump off for a bit. I will be back on later. But after I released Breathe, I released the Crystal Calls mini album. It wasn't TikTok partner. So I released a little mini album that I feel almost went under the radar compared to everything else. But this was 5 songs, and it was Haven, Control, Pieces, Breathe was on it as well, and then Trash. Which one of those do you want to know about, and why I wrote it? They're all very different songs. Like, thinking about it now, they are all very different. Oh, see, okay, alright, look, two of you said Trash, and I've always wanted people to notice Trash because I really, really like Trash. It's so poppy compared to the rest of my music. Haven, Control. My friend, potentially my friend's favourite is Control as well. Haven's got like a bit of a siesta vibe to it. And so, there's like a part of it where it's a bit of a siesta sound, and I'm so down for this. But because some of you said Trash, which Trash is one of my least streamed songs, because I just don't think people know it's there. But Trash was this song, and Trash was about, what's up, Ghost? You panic me when you say what's going on. You panic me. Okay, so let's go through what Trash is about, and this will be the last one that I do, and we can carry this on another day. What do you think it's about? Here, we'll put it on. I'm gonna sit back and see what you say. It's such a poppy song.
Or get rid of it all at once. You just have to start it, bit by bit, unloading all your horns.
This is the one where when it's sunny outside, I'm in the car. This is the one I blast the most.
Mind the cupboards or the backboard of the bed along the night. Mind the closet where my skeletons will learn to live and thrive. Mind the sheets so dimly between the covers I would hide
where
just to try and
I was asking
forget
people what song they want me to go through next, Ghost. It's the last one I'm gonna do for now,
Taking out trash, I'm taking out all of my past. I'll put it
and
in all of
Trash
these
is the
bags.
one we're
I'm
going
picking
with.
up all of the glass. I'm cutting my hands, running them both in the taps. I'm putting on blasters over disasters, yet I'm having a blast. Shadow reflection cross intersected in my mind. I need a blessing or intervention or a sign. Trying my best, I'm lifting my head just to smile. Pumping my chest to keep the mess from going wild. I'm taking out trash, some more in my bag. I gotta move fast, forward and never look back. The weather might be bad, but I'm letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go.
Thanks, Brown.
I'm ready to press it, done with depending on careless.
So I knew you guys would have heard Trash, but I'll go through it. Okay, I'll explain what Trash is about. Trash ties in quite a lot with Faith in Me. I kind of realised that they all sort of, like, they almost run from one to the next. But Trash was the metaphorical idea of throwing away the trash that's within your mind.
Taking out trash, I'm taking out all of my past. I'll put it in
And
all
it's,
of these bags. I'm carrying everything
yeah, this
mad.
bit.
I'm breaking my back and dragging my feet through the flat. But when I take the
But it's that
look behind me,
idea,
I know
yeah,
there's no
no
going
worries.
back.
That it's that idea that you're taking everything that you've been hiding and hoarding inside your mind and metaphorically put it into a bag of trash and throw it out. Yeah, my bad, Adakex. I turned it up. I was vibing. I had to turn it down. But yeah, so that's what Trash is about. Trash is written about taking everything that ails you, everything that bothers you. Like, you've made the changes by this point. You've got the faith in yourself. You believe in yourself at this point. You're not blinded to them anymore. And you're, within your mind, taking these things and removing them. You're done with it. It's over. And I think that's why it was just so poppy when I wrote it. And yeah, I'm taking out trash. There's some holes in my bag. I've got to move fast and never look back. It's like if I the idea there is like if I don't get rid of this, like these trashy thoughts quick, I'm just going to absorb them again. I need to just remove them. And you can kind of relate this to like people. Like if there are people in your life who bring you down, don't hoard onto them. Get rid of them. When I wrote this bit, I thought this was so cheesy, but I loved it. You have to accept it. Yeah. It's literally, I'm listing out the things that I'm literally, do you know what I mean? Detention. I can't not vibe to it. But it is, yeah, you are taking everything, absolutely everything that you've worked so hard to heal on. Because some people do this. Some people get to a point where they've done all this healing, they've been on this healing journey, and then they still hold on to it though. They'll still come back to those thoughts at a later date. And it could even be things like addiction. Like, you need to, once you've healed from it, like you don't throw it away beforehand. Once you've healed from it, then you get rid of it. Because if you let it linger around for too long, it's just going to come back. And you have to go through the process again. Like, a healing journey is nothing quick. So why would you? Why would you hold on to it? Okay, guys. We've got through most of the song. I didn't think we'd get through that many. I appreciate you guys sitting with me and kind of going through all these chapters and figuring out. It's nice to hear how you guys interpret these things. It's even nicer to know that you've heard these songs, because Trash was such a... You say it's it was the most, like, I don't know, it was just the most, it was the least streamed song that I had. And I think it kind of got lost in the Crystal Cores EP, but it's also one of my favourites. They're all my favourite. I'm saying this about every song. I'm saying every song is my favourite, but they are all my favourites. But it's cool to see that you guys heard it. You're the OGs. You're the real ones. Alright guys, I'm going to end this stream here. I will be back on later. We're playing the Altars. I need to finish it. I will do the rest of the song. Maybe we'll do tomorrow, Detention. I'll see what life brings me tomorrow. How many songs we got left to do? We've got Spinning Daisies, TikTok, Control Haven. Control Haven. Oh my god, my brain's gone. Pieces. Pieces was another one. Pieces is in the backing track as its first version, and the first version of Pieces sounds so different to the released version, to the point I've actually been tempted to release the other version as well of Pieces, because they're just different sounds entirely. But yeah, okay guys. Celeste, it's good to see you on the stream. Alikex, I appreciate that. Guys, we're going to call it. We're going to end it here. Thank you so much for being on the stream today. And like I said, I will be back on later. If you want to jump on the gaming stream, you can do. You'll probably hear me a lot clearer because I'm not wearing a mask. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys later.
Just to give myself some time to make the connections that I cut between my eyes. And if I preach it and I feel it, maybe one day I can change. Cause I need to clear the dirt that keeps on coursing through my veins. And if I preach it and I feel it, maybe one day I can change. Cause
We're just going to vibe to the song, to the end of the song, and then I'm going, okay? Yeah, I'm singing along too. I'm singing along too.
Okay, so I know it's a lot of stuff, but I guess we just have to start dealing with it, right?
depression, past traumas, anxiety, bad partners, lost mamas, gone fathers, really, 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 really crap friends. Put the selfish, the repressive, the ones who always tell you you look ugly when sad. Put the thought of never being enough, the day spent in the bed in your head, fake smiles, no trust. Put the horror that you used to call love, all the venom, every dread. Put the misery you never could shed. I'm taking out trash, more in my bag. I gotta move fast.
Alright everyone, thank you for being on the stream. I'll see you guys in a bit.